Please state your name
I'm
and
Jonathan Copel. I live in Lacombe. I'm actually a teacher in this district. I'm going to wind up showing you something that's about that. I didn't know she was coming. The program Brain Pop that the kids spend hours listening to is actually already teaching our kids in our district what she's talking about, as well as telling them about critical race theory. I recorded the video from Brain Pop's official Instagram page. Hope you can hear it.
Racism in our society. A built-in system of bias that makes life easier for white people and more difficult for Black people and other people of color. It puts them at greater risk for poverty, unemployment, and disease. Structural racism is a factor in some disturbing trends. Black people are nearly 6 times more likely than whites to be imprisoned, and Black men are killed by police at more than twice the rate of white men.
All right, so that's the first video. They're telling our kids, they're telling our Black children that they are oppressed by white people and that it's in the system, so they don't have a chance, and that our good policemen are more apt to shoot a Black man or a Black woman, which is ridiculous. The next video I'm going to show you, they're teaching incorrect grammar to give a kid whatever gender pronoun they want. Psychology tells you that when you're talking about sexuality with kids, their brains are not developed. You have to raise a child, you rear a child. They don't know about sexuality. When an adult pushes some kinky sexual ideas upon them, it winds up grooming them to believe whatever the adult tells them. So this is the video by Brain Pop that our kids are spending hours in front of. This is what they're telling them about the pronouns. And ACT already gave the kids the opportunity to choose their own gender when they took the ACT. I got pictures of the forms.
Like meet Moby and Orbot. They are my best friends. Actually, yeah, they can be used as a singular pronoun too. Like if you said, I'm going to see my friend, I could ask, where do they live? Since I don't know your friend's gender identity. And some individuals prefer they as a pronoun. Like meet Orbot, they are my best friend.
We got kids that can't read and write, and then we're going to teach them incorrect grammar. I mean, it's ridiculous, okay? Who gave permission to talk about this? There's 2 genders. If you're born with a penis and you have testicles, that's just anatomy. You're a male. If you have a vagina and ovaries, you're a female. A man cannot menstruate. A man cannot lactate and breastfeed a child. You cannot give birth if you're a man. If you want to be an adult and do whatever you want with your life, I'm okay with that. Don't push this ideology on children. I'm not going to work in a district that's okay with that. You need to make a clear statement on how many genders are there, because parents they're already pulling their kids out of public school. They're doing homeschool options. They're going online. It's going to increase as this liberal ideology comes into our schools. This isn't a political indoctrination camp, okay? It's public education. We want to teach education, not left-wing ideas that aren't backed up by facts or science. Thank you.
Dear Nat and Moby, why are so many people protesting about racism? I thought we fixed all that stuff a long time ago. From Amir. It seems like overnight, the whole country has woken up and realized what a big problem racism is. But the protests we're seeing today aren't really about that sort of thing. They're about structural racism in our society. A built-in system of bias that makes life easier for white people and more difficult for Black people and other people of color. It puts them at greater risk for poverty, unemployment, and disease. Structural racism is a factor in some disturbing trends. Black people are nearly 6 times more likely than whites to be imprisoned, and Black men are killed by police at more than twice the rate of white men. And protests have spread from Minneapolis to cities all around the world. Thousands of marches took place in the month following Floyd's death. These demonstrations have been overwhelmingly peaceful. Though, if you've been watching your news, you might think it's all been riots. What do you think? Rachel Maddow or Anderson Cooper? Maddow? Coop. Oh, whatever, they're fake anyway. And welcome to Brain Pop News. It's June, and that means Pride Month, when we celebrate the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community.
Sophie won. Yes, I got beat by a girl. And I'm okay with that. She's fast. Dear Tim and Moby, my brother called me a feminist. It sounds bad, and I'm not sure I want to be one. What's a feminist? So Degoug's version proposed complete equality between the sexes. She argued that women needed to forcefully take control of their rights, and that marriage destroyed women's rights and individuality. Sure, you don't have to be a woman to be a feminist.
Like, meet Moby and Orbot. They are my best friends. Actually, yeah, they can be used as a singular pronoun too. Like if you said, I'm going to see my friend, I could ask, where do they live? Since I don't know your friend's gender identity. And some individuals prefer they as a pronoun. Like, meet Orbot. They are my best friend.